Hi guys, this is Klazart bringing audio commentary, and this is Game 3 of the Best of 5 matchup, the Ever OSL Finals 2009-2010 season, played on the 17th of January 2010 between Flash and Movie. It is going to be on Eye of the Storm. We've got Flash at the top left-hand corner of the map in purple at the 11 o'clock position, Movie at the top right-hand corner of the map at the 1 o'clock position. And a couple of you guys have been asking on the YouTube page whether this means I'm returning or not. And no, I am not returning. It is just that I didn't want to miss out being part of these historic events that are taking place right now with Flash, obviously in both the finals of the OSL and the MSL. And after having seen him against Jaedong, where he dumped Jaedong out of the OSL, I've just been completely excited and really been looking forward to watching him. So I didn't want to miss out on that. Flash just now getting ready to take his refinery, it looks like. And it'll be interesting to see whether Flash chooses to put his command center down now, whether he goes, again, one racks into CC. Flash has played quite expansionistically recently, and it seems to be, and it looks like a young Movie fan there in the audience egging on his hero. Or I wonder if, unless that sign says die Movie die, although that would be a lot of Korean characters to spell out die if that was the case. Anyway, moving on. Movie sent out his scout. Unfortunately, it looks like in the wrong direction, heading southwards. Flash sending his scout out as well, it looks like. So Movie, by the time he gets around, probably won't be able to actually get any relevant scouting information. And sometimes that can happen in StarCraft. That can be the toss of the coin. Flash scouting in the wrong direction as well. I don't think it's really going to affect either player too much. Anyway, both players starting off with fairly standard builds, although if Movie is counting on Flash to fast expand, again, he will be mistaken and he will be misled. It'll be interesting to see whether Movie changes his tack. So far in Game 1 and Game 2, both games, he's tried to do something different, something a little bit innovative, to try and throw Flash off his computerized schedule, to try and force Flash to be human and to play like a human and thus become beatable, thus become mortal. So far he's been unable to do that. Now he's blocking his choke with a Pylon and a Zealot to try and deny Flash the scout, and it'll be interesting to see. He's got his Cybernetics core down as well. Flash, of course, hasn't fast expanded, so it'll be interesting to see how this game pans out between these two players. Neither player putting too much pressure on the other thus far. Flash just a couple of reens out, getting his factory down as well. So we are seeing a normal build for Flash for a change, not going for a very expansionistic strategy this time around. And Movie doesn't seem to be trying anything crazy so far, although I'm sure in a second we'll see him put on a robotics facility and a Templar archives. And then try and get Arbiters or something 10 seconds later, who knows. Anyway, Flash pushing away the scouting probe from Movie. Unfortunately, because Movie scouted in the wrong direction initially, by the time the probe arrived, Flash already had his Marines in place. Flash getting gas as well with 3 SCVs. He's got that first factory down with the machine shop as well. Movie doesn't seem to have built any tech buildings as of yet. I haven't seen a robotics facility go down or any or a citadel go down. I wonder what he's up to. Meanwhile, Flash continues to pump out those reens. It looks like he's got 5 reens out already. He might be waiting for perhaps another reen or two, another reen, and then the siege tank. And I guess then he'll be ready to push out and maybe try and take his natural expo at a more standard time. Movie with that probe obviously just hovering just south of Flash, just outside of Flash's natural expo. And yeah, Flash sending that SCV out with a Marine. I can guess that would only be probably to get his expansion up and going. Movie again still doesn't. I haven't seen any tech buildings for him. Is now taking his expansion. So Movie choosing to expand. And previously in the previous games we've seen him try and put pressure on Flash early on. This time he's gone for trying to compete in terms of the economy as well. And I think that's a good idea by Movie. I think he should try something different. He's tried to outwit Flash, tried to take Flash down cheekily, cleverly, and it hasn't paid off for him. He was quite audacious in the previous game, and Flash read right through it and defended superbly. And, you know, I have to ask you guys, while we're on the subject of Game 2, whether you felt that Movie strategy was viable at this level of play, had it not been Flash and perhaps had been another player like, say, Mind or any of the other plethora of Terran players out there. Would Movie have succeeded in taking them down? He did push Flash, I felt, to the edge, and if that, looking back at that game, it was actually a lucky tank shot. Well, it wasn't lucky. That was a well-positioned siege tank from Flash at his natural expo that took out that first Reaver. If that first Reaver hadn't died, Movie would have been completely continued to wreak havoc at Flash's 2 factories and disabled his production entirely. Flash wouldn't have been able to get that turret down, and that DT would have continued to maul Flash's factories until the point that Flash managed to get that academy down, which actually did go down not too long after Flash killed the DT. But I think that first Reaver getting taken out by Flash, and I think Movie got a little bit greedy actually looking back at that game. I think he got a little bit greedy. I think he should have just kept the pressure on Flash at his main with the DT and the Reaver while he waited for reinforcements to arrive. And if I think he had done that, he wouldn't have lost that Reaver and would have been able to put Flash under a lot more pressure, but I guess woulda, coulda, shoulda, and Flash with the counter was able to push Movie right back and negate any advantage that Movie might have gained from his initial strategy, and in the end take the win. Meanwhile, Movie's Natural Expo up and running. He's got 2 gateways as well as the robotics facility, now putting a Citadel of Adon down. It'll be interesting to see if he tries to go for a drop again or if he tries something different this time around. He's got that Citadel, he's got his observatory down as well. Neither player looking to really put any pressure on each other. Flash still expecting the attack, and in a way this is kind of a clever build by Movie, because on the one hand he blocked off his Natural Expo, so Flash is again expecting him to be hyper aggressive as he has been so far in this matchup, in this best of 5 matchup, but Movie this time just holding back, getting his economy into gear, getting his tech into gear, and Flash still sort of in the defensive mode, expecting defense. It'll be interesting now if Movie does. Looks like Movie's getting ready to put that Templar Archives down as the Citadel gets finished, still with that probe scout just sitting outside Flash's Natural Expo, and Flash is going to take care of that now with those 2 vultures just as they exit out of his base. Movie well defended, of course, at his Expo. He's got 5 Dragoons there as well as Zealot in front of them, so Flash isn't going to be able to do any damage there. But I'm sure Flash is going to be aware now that his opponent has gone for a more economy-heavy build as opposed to being hyper-aggressive. Movie still, and looks like Movie with the Stargate and the Templar Archives going down, so we might be seeing Arbiters from Movie here. He's putting the Templar Archives and he's getting the Stargate down as well, so we might be seeing Arbiters, or it'll be interesting to see whether he does decide to go for fast Arbiters here and really try and put the pressure on Flash. Flash anticipating something. He's got the Armory down, got the Academy down, knows he needs to get scouting information, doesn't want to keep playing blind. He hasn't been able to get the scout in, wants to know what Movie's up to, doesn't want to get caught off guard, and Flash has been brilliant at anticipating his moves thus far in the matchup. And you have to wonder, what does it take to beat Flash right now, guys? On the one hand, he's if you play standard, he just completely destroys you. You try something different and he still destroys you, and players have to be completely shuddering at the prospect of going up against him, and it just seems to me that they're just hoping and praying that Flash makes a mistake. Looks like Flash getting another command center up and running, getting ready to take another Expo yet again, and just with Flash it's just almost like he doesn't need to think anymore. It's like he's zombie Flash. He just plays his StarCraft almost mechanically and automatically without having to even think about it, and unleashes. And you would normally think of zombiness being more in line with Zerg, but Flash has turned these Terrans into a well-oiled machine. Now Flash looks like he's finally getting ready to push out a little bit. He's got a couple of Goliaths there. He's got a couple of siege tanks, as well as he's got 3 siege tanks as well as a few Marines, and indeed the Arbiter Tribunal going down for Movie. So and he's got 4 gateways up, and looks like he's also taking the expansion at the 3 o'clock position. Vulture from Flash going down towards that expansion, getting intercepted by about 4 Dragoons, not able to get that scouting information. Another Vulture heading south towards the 5 o'clock expansion. Flash looks like he's just establishing himself just outside that ramp, and he's allowing Movie here to continue. I guess he feels confident enough that his economy is in a strong place, and he's played these kind of standard games against Protoss opponents before and taking them down no trouble, so he's not too worried about what Movie's doing. Flash is just doing what he always does. He's just playing his game, although this time around he doesn't have the advantage of that fast expansion and that strong booming Terran economy that he gets from going for that fast 1 racks into CC build that we've seen him do so often. So Movie is in with a decent chance here in a game that is a must-win for him, and really it's going to come down to his decision-making in battle, his game sense yet again. He had an opportunity, decentish opportunity in Game 1, which I felt he completely squandered. Now it's down to him to time his attack right this time and make them count. I don't think Movie has won a single engagement against Flash. The only engagement that you could argue that he might have come out with in an upper hand was when he was trying to harass Flash in Game 2, where he did have a period of time where he was dominating Flash's factory with his Dark Templar, with the Reaver support. But other than that, Flash has just been all over Movie throughout, and not really given him any breathing room whatsoever. Movie now starting to pump some units out. He's got a decent number of Dragoons out. He's got a couple of Zealots out. Flash continues to secure that 9 o'clock expansion, which he's now got up and running. And really by now, Flash should have those comsats up. His comsats going up at the expansion. He should have a scan up and know exactly what Movie's up to. He's probably going to anticipate those Arbiters and get those turrets up all around. And Flash is brilliant at defending, but he does have a slightly larger area to spread his forces over this time in terms of his defense. So Movie could potentially strike at that 9 o'clock base, or potentially draw Flash away. Now Movie's got that first Arbiter out. Again, it'll be interesting to see whether he goes for a recall first time around or whether he goes for stasis. Now Flash with the scan has seen everything, perfectly positioned scan, sees the Arbiter, sees the Tribunal, sees the Dragoon, sees everything there, and he knows exactly what his opponent is up to, so he should be able to defend against this when the attack comes his way. Flash, meanwhile, with the scan, just taking out that Observer over his tanks. Flash with 4 factories up now, 2 with machine shops, and he's also got his starport down. And looks like that starport might be building a Wraith initially. I thought he would have tried to get that control tower down ASAP and get that science vessel out. EMP being such an important tool in the Terra arsenal against the arbitering Protoss, especially a Protoss that has gone for fast arbiters. And looks like Movie might be just about getting ready to move out here, just trying to clear the path, I guess, for his units with the Dragoons, make sure that they don't run into anything. Just sniping a couple of spider mines, skirting the edge of shelling range of Flash's tanks, just avoiding that range, staying out of it. Meanwhile, he's got that one arbiter waiting in his main, accumulating energy, and this is a little bit like a 10-minute no-rush game, guys. It's been 10 minutes and 27 seconds already in this game so far, and we haven't seen a single attack of note from either player. Now, finally, we're seeing some small skirmishes beginning to take place around the map, small sparks of interest, small focus points of battle. Flash with the vultures, just trying to put some spider mines down around that 12 o'clock position that Movie's going to completely comfortably clear out with his Dragoons, with observer support. Now Movie continue to push in towards Flash's forces. Flash again with brilliantly positioned siege tanks. He's got a couple more turrets out as well. He's going to be able to take that observer down before it can escape.